I can't allow myself to have any doubt. It's time to set my worries free. Time to show the world what Elder Price is about and share the power inside of me. I believe.
That is actor Andrew Rannells performing I Believe from the Book of Mormon at the 2011 Tony Awards, where he was nominated for Best Leading Actor in a Musical. He also appeared in the hit TV series Girls and starred alongside James Corden, Nicole Kidman, and Meryl Streep in the movie The Prom. I loved him in The Intern, by the way. Rannells is also a two-time author. His new book is a collection of deeply personal essays called Uncle of the Year and Other Debatable Triumphs. Andrew Rannells joins us now. So good to have you
Well,
here.
thank you for having me. I realized seeing that clip, I need a new hairdo. I've had the same hair my entire life.
It still looks good.
Well, thank you.
It still looks
Thank
good.
you.
You write about being 44 years old, and John sort of joked about it in the teaser earlier, like wondering, like, I'm an adult?
Yeah.
I'm an adult. This resonated, though, with me as this moment of, doesn't matter, 44, for some people it's 39 and 50. This really resonated.
I did. 40 wasn't tricky for me, but 41 was for some reason hard. It was like harder to turn 41 than it was to turn 40 for some reason. And I felt like I was waiting for a moment to happen to be like, oh, now I'm a grown-up. I'm a grown-up now. And now at almost 45, I'm like, I think you're a grown-up, dude. I think it happened.
Yeah.
I think it happened while you weren't paying attention.
Is that what sparked wanting to write this book, or what was the reason? I know you had the first one that was the memoir, but why do this?
Well, my first book ended when I was 26. I stopped that book the night I made my Broadway debut in Hairspray. And so this book, as thinking about writing a second one, I kept thinking about sort of what were the sort of markers of time since that moment, and sort of, as a New Yorker and as an actor and as a gay New York actor, sort of what are my particular markers of time? Like, it wasn't necessarily getting married, it wasn't having kids, and I was marking my time with like opening nights and jobs, and which I know a lot of people do with work, but that was definitely sort of those were my markers of time, because I didn't get married and I didn't have children. And so I was like, well, what does that mean for me? And does it mean I'm an adult that I have a washer and dryer in my apartment?
Yes.
Or
I think that counts. I think that counts.
What means to me is, like, you feel like you have command of this moment, but we never feel like we have the command of the moment. So therefore, we are never. I mean,
I agree. Like, I feel like that's, rather than thinking like, oh, it's going to start at some point, it's like, no, it's just happening right now.
Yeah.
And here I am.
And here you are. But if it is happening right now, what are some of the lessons that you've learned along the way that you want to pass along? Because you go through, I mean, it is a vulnerable book also.
Yeah.
I tried to make it as fun as possible, but also be as honest as possible. And I think, when my siblings started having kids and I became an uncle for the first time, I really did want to be Uncle of the Year. But the other debatable triumphs part of this title is very important, because anyone with children knows that, like, you can plan all you want. Like, I would plan these visits for these kids to come to New York, and I'd be like, this is going to be awesome. And then nothing would go according to plan.
Right.
Or they would, there's a story in the book about my nephew lying down in a crosswalk in Lower Manhattan.
And you call him something.
I do, yeah. I got a little impatient. And that was the thing, looking back, is that, I was not always Uncle of the Year, and I still try. And now I'm great uncle. One of my nieces has a child, so the ante has been upped. So I really gotta step it up with that kid.
Go ahead.
what's it like to perform on the page? You obviously are so facile in real life with us, but what's it like when it's just you alone with a page?
It's I love it. I love getting to write, particularly in this sort of essay style, and it's something that I've always done, but never really expected to share. So then when I got the opportunity to actually share it with people, like, that was a big deal. It really sort of kicked in when I did the audio version. My big fear in writing, and I think a lot of writers would say this, is that it's not going to sound like you. And so then in reading it out loud, I was like, okay, it still sounds like me. That's still correct.
I told you, the drive from Boston to New York, I listened to it. I don't know you, but I felt like I knew you, and it sounded like the you that I thought I knew.
Oh, that's good.
You and
All right.
seeing you. So.
Well, that's very good.
it
I'm
was
glad I got to
amazing.
keep you company.
Good life stories. What's the
Yes.
zebra? I know we have to let you go, but the zebras. What's
Zebras,
the group
not
of
horses.
zebras? What's the group?
A dazzle.
A dazzle.
Take that with you today, folks.
A dazzle of
Yeah, a group of
zebras.
zebras is called a dazzle.
And it's
more you know.
a very good lesson.
more
in the
you
book.
know.
That's right, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
so much.
Thank
Uncle
you
of the
very
Year
much.
is available now wherever you like to buy your books. Check it out. It really is a wonderful, wonderful read.